Ubisoft was kind enough to hook me up with some new and previously unseen gameplay footage of Star Wars Outlaws, and today I will try to paint a picture for you of what we might expect when this game is going to release next month. Just be wary, there will be minor spoilers of the story and choices we will have in the game. If you are anything like me, you have no clue of what is going on within the Star Wars universe. I am that guy that has not seen any of the Star Wars movies when I was a kid, and I am probably already too old and too busy with life to binge watch every movie, TV series, or anything else in Star Wars universe to catch up with the story. So you can definitely expect a totally unbiased take from me on the Ubisoft and Massive Entertainment upcoming game. Ubisoft has already shown some gameplay footage of Star Wars Outlaws in the past, and it was received with mixed signals from the people. Of course, we are not in those times anymore where you can always feel hyped about a new game release and then get pleasantly surprised when the game releases, because your expectations might not have been high enough. So now I always look at new releases from a skeptical standpoint, and I'm here to prevent you from acting like a hyped up teenager during a Taylor Swift concert. A number of content creators were already able to play a bit of the game during the Summer Game Fest this year, and their reviews, to my surprise, were mainly positive. From the footage that I have seen already, the overall game experience looks like it's going to be fun, and at least more fun than Starfield. To start off the new gameplay, footage starts with a cutscene of Kay waking up on her starship, most likely after a crash due to the sparks flying around in the cockpit. Later on, the cargo bay doors open up, revealing a stunning view of the planet she landed on. During this opening, an alien attempts to attack Kay after mistaking her for one of the enemies. If you ask me, this guy named Waka, who looks like is going to be our companion on the ship, maintaining all the systems and repairing them, since he offers to help Kay get the ship running. Then, for an unspecified reason, a group of enemies attack them, and that's when a mechanic similar to Deadeye from Red Dead Redemption games is showed off. You will be able to tag a number of enemies in slow motion and get rid of them in quick succession. After the firefight, Kay hops on her speeder and travels to a city. During the trip, she is attacked by a number of enemies again, and it is revealed that the same enemy tagging mechanic will be available to use on the bike as well. We can also take a guess that at least big cities are going to be a safe zone, because the enemies that were following Kay on the bike stopped following her when she entered the city. So probably we will not be able to utilize those tight city alleys to our advantage to get the upper hand on the enemies, unless the other factions are also afraid of the Imperial Stormtroopers that are later shown off, at least in the city that Kay is. And maybe these enemies are going to be our biggest headache. The city itself looks highly detailed and feels alive. NPCs around Kay seem to be busy with their own things instead of just always looking at the main character. And I am sorry, but I gotta say it. Looking at you, Starfield. But alright, let's carry on. From the gameplay footage that Ubisoft released in the past, we can also imply that there is going to be a lot of focus on stealth elements in the game due to Kay's pet Nick's abilities of distracting the enemies and Kay having a lockpick all the time with her in her hair. This is also shown off more here as well. I don't know how about you, but at least for me, stealth missions always sounds like fun. But you know what also sounds like fun? Pressing that sub and bell notification button so you would get notified the next time I drop a video, and in the process of doing that, you would also be helping me reach YouTube partner. So thank you. Okay, so after a pretty lengthy cutscene, the footage starts showing off how the reputation system is going to work with the factions. Right now, it only shows Pike Syndicate, Crimson Dawn, and the Hut Cartel factions. But it also looks like that there is still room on the screen for the fourth faction that is not revealed here, unless for some strange reason this empty space on the screen is a creative decision. Looks like the reputation is going to impact what areas Kay is going to be allowed into, how she will be treated, and the number of job offers she is going to have available from each faction. It seems that we will be able to either make enemies or friends. And that got me wondering if we are going to be able to make Kay's life a living hell by making enemies with each faction available in the game. Sounds like a hardcore difficulty mode that you would select without even knowing it. Additionally, factions will be offering rewards depending on your reputation. The higher reputation you will have, the better the rewards will come your way. There's also another section in there called contract brokers that you will have to meet in the cantinas around the universe, and probably this is going to be the best way to hop on the good side of the faction by completing these contracts to increase your reputation with them. Oh, and talking about cantinas, they better have that song playing inside of them. You know, the one that goes like... The final section in the faction menu is merchants that you will have to meet in markets. My guess is that selling all that massive amount of loot and junk you will be able to acquire during your adventures to a specific faction merchant is also going to be increasing that faction's reputation. Maybe even buying stuff from them will be doing that too, but we will have to find out about that. After this section, Kay carries on with her mission and starts descending a wall with a rope. This is where I also noticed that the game still might have minor bugs since Nyx just clipped through that box right there. And later on, we can see something that does not make sense at all. Can someone in the comments down below and explain to me how did this guy not see the big blue projectile flying right in front of him? Is this some sort of Star Wars projectile I know nothing about? Despite that, Kay is able to remove the enemies and move on to another room where she finds a computer that seems to be encrypted. Looks like we will be having mini puzzles throughout the game, but from this short segment I was not able to figure out how they are going to be working and how will you be able to solve them. When Kay goes back from her quest, a cutscene plays out where Kay needs to talk to a member of Crimson Dawn faction. In the end of the conversation, a choice pops up to let the player make a decision if Kay should share the information she learned during the mission with the Crimson Dawn or keep it and share it with another faction later. Apparently, these dialogue decisions are also going to be impacting our reputation with specific factions. Now we are going to skip a bit ahead where Kay makes it back to her ship. Inside the ship, we will have a workbench where we will be able to upgrade our gear to increase its effectiveness. But it looks like to do that, we will need to gather the required components for the upgrades first. After this section, we blast off into space where Kay and her new friend Waka get stopped by Imperial ships and then get escorted into the station for inspection. I really hope that we will have non-scripted inspections of our ship as well at random points in the game. This one that was shown off here looks like was due to a quest and was most likely scripted though. Later on, Kay picks up another mission where she needs to infiltrate the camp and plant a bomb there. Towards the end of the mission, another conversation choice pops up that perfectly illustrates how this is going to impact the faction reputation. These choices will be able to impact your reputation in a negative way as well, so choose wisely if you really want to make friends or enemies with certain factions. After that, Kay places a bomb and needs to run away from the camp. Here we see another example of the explosion animation that we have seen in previous gameplays. It definitely received tons of whiplashes from gamers all around the world. This time around though, I can't say that it looks that bad, I think. It's definitely not as choppy as the previous one though. When Kay is done with this quest, she comes back to a cantina and we can see an example of how the contract brokers are going to work. They will have planetary and space missions available for you to grab, and they will reward you with either money, parts needed for upgrades, or even reputation. They will have some locked missions too, so you will need to increase your standing with them before you tackle those ones. The footage also shows off that there will be a possibility to change how Kay dresses. We will be able to change parts of her clothing, and it looks like that this will impact not only the looks, but also her abilities. Before we wrap things up, I have to mention a few more minor details that the footage was able to provide. We will have snow planets as well. Snow will gather on Kay's clothing and will melt off once she is in a warm environment. Looks like treasure hunting in hard-to-reach places is also going to be a thing, and Nyx is going to be the main tool in helping you out with that and leading you towards it. Eavesdropping that we had in early Assassin's Creed games is also coming back. Black market traders are also going to be available. We will be able to play space poker called Kessel Sabak, although I have no clue what that is. Oh, and most importantly, it wouldn't be an open world game if you wouldn't be able to pet the animals in it, right? So yes, we will be able to go and pet that dog. Pet that dog! All in all, these are the main aspects of the gameplay I received. I am only allowed to show off a limited amount of the footage, so I try to pick out the parts from it that would tell the most about the gameplay we will have upon release. I am looking forward to trying the game out myself. Maybe I am an easy to please type of gamer, but from what I saw so far, apart from a few bugs and graphical artifacts here and there, it looks like Star Wars Outlaws can be an interesting game that will keep you busy for at least a few days or weeks. Is the game worth a pre-order though? The answer you will get from me is always going to be no. Tell me in the comments down below what are your thoughts on the game, if you are going to be picking it up early or when the game releases. Maybe you will play it through Ubisoft Plus, or maybe you will not touch it even if somebody pays you. If you don't have any opinion yet, just drop your favorite emoji in the comments as well, just to appease to the algorithm gods. If you guys liked the video, drop a thumbs up, send it to your friend, family, teacher, coworker, anyone that you can think of. And also, follow me on other socials. You can find the links to them in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.